Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is another little scrap buster project. I came up with this design because what I was doing was I was working on a project and I had a bunch of ends to weave in. And I was setting it somewhere where I don't normally crochet. So I would weave in an end, set my needle down, cut it, grab the next end, go try to find my needle, and I can't find where I set the freaking thing. And then I find my needle, weave that in, and then go to grab my scissors, and I can't find my scissors anywhere. So I thought, you know what? I need to come up with some way of like a wrist strap with a pin cushion that'll hold my scissors. So this is what I came up with. This is basically one of those snap wrist bracelets. And then we make a little I don't know, a pin cushion with a strap that slides on and off. And then the little pin cushion holds our needles. And then I went ahead and just put a couple stitch markers on the side because I thought it looked cool. But these are super cute and easy, and they're perfect for traveling. You know, traveling when you need to weave in your ends or have your needles or set your scissors down somewhere and you can't remember where you set them. So let's talk about what you're going to need to make these. So I have these wrist straps. They are from Amazon. The link will be in the description box. They fit pretty snug, and I don't like the way they fit without the strap, or not the strap, the strap cover. But this measures almost 8.5 inches. Just a tad bit shy of 8.5 inches. So it'll pretty much fit any wrist. But the link will be in the description box for that. And then I have a tote full of mandala scraps from another project that I was working on. But I used the scraps from a skein of mandala in the Nifflers. I don't know what that is. Nifflers color. So any 3-weight, I do want to say that a mandala skein is a pretty thinner size 3 yarn. Whereas, so like right here, I have another one that's a mandala scrap that is the sparkle. And it's just a tad bit thicker. So I do recommend, if you're just going to use a regular skein of mandala, I would use a 3.5mm crochet hook. But if you're going to use a 3-weight that's a little bit bigger than I'm trying to think of how I can word this. A little thicker 3-weight, then I would use a 3.25. Because like I said, the mandala is a 3-weight on the thinner side, whereas, you know, a Premier DK is a 3-weight that's a tad bit on the thicker side. So if you're using a thinner 3-weight, use the 3.5. If you're using a thicker 3-weight, use a 3.25, okay? And then you're going to need a 2.75. And the reason we go so little is because we want the stitches of that pin cushion to be nice and tight so it holds our needles. Then you are going to need a tape measure, no stitch markers, and you're going to need just probably that much polyfill, maybe a little bit more than that. Just a little bitty pinch of polyfill to stuff the pin cushion. And that's it. That's all your supplies. I mean, it's really simple. What we do is we chain so long, chain a little length, work around and around and around until it reaches to the top of our snapping wrist strap. Slip stitch that close, make a little pin cushion, and we're done. But I do say there are 2 different pin cushions. So you can see this one has the strap that goes around it, so I can slide this on and off. Just like that. And now this one I actually glued on, which I kind of prefer this one better. But if you would rather glue yours on, use your E6000. And then what I do is I just take my scissors and I just run it in a hole between the stitches, and that holds the scissors on there. So the E6000 glue, you can find that at Walmart, on Amazon, wherever. That is an industrial strength glue, so it's pretty good stuff. Other than that, that is it. So get your supplies together and let's get started. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to get my yarn, make sure I have enough tail to weave in, and a slip knot on my hook. And I'm going to be using my 3.5 hook, only because this is a pretty thin 3-weight. And we're going to start by chaining 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now into the second chain from our hook, I want to bring you guys in just a tad bit. Yeah, just like that. All right, now into the, stop shaking, into the second chain from our hook. So this one right there, right there. We're going to work 2 single crochets. So go right in there with 1 and 2. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 1, 2, 3 chains. 1, 2, and here's the 3rd chain. My wrist is cracking. I don't know why it's doing that all of a sudden. Anyway, all right, so into this last chain right here, we're going to work 3 single crochet, and as we work one, we can hold our work just like this. The second single crochet, we're going to rotate it like this, and then the 3rd single crochet, we're going to be completely upside down from where we started, okay? So into that last chain, focus here, we are going to work 1, rotate, 2, rotate, and 3. Now you can work over, sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I shouldn't even said that. Okay, so now we can see the bottom loops of our chain. Let me get something I can point with. All right, so here is the last chain that we worked into, right? That hole right there. So right here, here, and here are the next 3 remaining loops of our chain. So this is where we're going to work our next single crochet, which is going to be around the remaining loops of the beginning chain. And then this little hole right here, get in there, right there, and then right there. So those are the next 3 remaining loops. There you can see them pretty good right there. So you can work over your tail or leave it out of the way, it doesn't matter, but we're going to go right into that next remaining loops of the beginning chain and into the next, and into that next one right there, right here. Let me get my tail out of the way. And now the hole right here, that's the very first chain that we worked into. So we're going to go right in there with 1 single crochet. And we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 single crochet. Okay, so now all we are going to do is continue to single crochet into each single crochet all the way around. And you do not have to mark your stitches. You don't have to count. We're not going to do anything. We are just going to single crochet all the way around, around and around and around. Now I want to stay with you guys for just a moment because I want to show you something. I'm going to make it past these edges. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Single. Okay, so I've made it around each side, and I want to show you guys. See how it bowed up like that? Go ahead and stop and pop that to where your single crochets are to the outside. So it's going to look like this. And you can go ahead and, where's my scissors at? Go ahead and snip that tail on the inside, not your working yarn. Snip that tail just to get it out of the way. And if you want to weave it in, you can go ahead and weave it in, but it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so honestly, this is all we're going to do. We are going to single crochet around and around and around, and eventually we are going to get long enough to cover our wrist strap. Let me get it and show you guys. Okay, so here's my wrist strap. Fits in there perfectly. We're going to work this around and around and around until it goes all the way to the top. So it's going to come just barely to the edge of our piece. All right, so go ahead and single crochet all the way until your piece comes to the top. And I'll come back right before I get to my finished length. Okay, and it surprisingly, honestly, doesn't take as long as you think it does. Oh, sorry, I just found something that I've been looking for. Let me show you. I have, in our package of our wrist straps, you have 2 of each color. Well, earlier I had pulled out my other blue wrist strap, and I spent a good 5 minutes trying to find my wrist strap, and I could not find it anywhere. So I just said forget it and grabbed the other one that was in my little package, and I just found the first one. I put it on the top of my wool genie. I forgot, and I just found it. Okay, so anyway, back to what I was saying. Go ahead and single crochet around and around until your piece just barely comes to the top right here, okay? All right, I will be right back and show you guys mine. Okay, so I wanted to come back on here real quick. I've worked so much of my strap cover, but I wanted to show you guys, it does kind of get a little bit of a pain in the butt to get this on your wrist strap. If you wiggle it back and forth like this, it'll eventually go on there. But what I do, and this is an old work shirt that I wear as a pajama shirt, so don't pay attention to that it's all stained and stuff. But what I do is I just set it on my chest and push, and then just wiggle this back and forth, and eventually it'll get on there. I shouldn't say eventually, it doesn't take that long, but I mean, you just slide it on there, just like that. Sorry, I can't stay on the camera. I've got you guys in a really weird position. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. So I just slide that out, and I'll show you again. I'm going to distort it a little, so it's a bit of a pain to get on there. But I just get it started, and just kind of wiggle it back and forth, and force it in there a little. And then just set it on my chest, and push, wiggle that end all the way to the end of my strap, my wrist strap, and then just pull it down a little. And there you go. All right, so I'm gonna finish single crocheting that around, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I have crocheted around and around and around, and I think I might be to the right length. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this in here. Oh, that snapped it. Okay. Straighten it up. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, so what you are going to do, actually, okay, so what you're going to do is single crochet around and around, and you want to stop on a side. So you can tell I can pull back at least 2 stitches. 1, 2. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is get this all the way in there, so I'm covering up the tip of that wrist strap. I'll get my hook back on here, and what I'm gonna do is slip stitch 2 stitches together. So I'm in a side. Let me get to where I can see. Okay, so right here, there's my single crochet, so I want to slip stitch into the very next single right there, and then go into that one and slip stitch these two closed. So I'm going to go here and then right there. Do it off camera. There, I got it. And slip stitch that. And now I'm just going to go stitch for stitch, slip stitching the top closed. It's easier to do this off camera, but I'm just slip stitching along. Make sure you're catching the right. This is gonna snap and scare me. Alright, I have one more I can do. And now what I'm gonna do is go right through the side post of that last single and slip stitch, chain one, pull up a loop, and cut. And now take that tail and I'm going to run it right into the inside. Come out a hole, don't come out between the stitch, come out a hole. Pull that tight and snip, and that tail pops right back inside. So there is our strap cover. And now we are going to make the little pincushion. Now for this, I do want to go down to the, nope, not that one, I'm sorry. I do want to go down to the 2.75 millimeter because I want the, I want that cushion to have nice tight stitches. And let's see, I'm trying to pick what color I want to use from my scrap, and I'm thinking I might go to that peach color, which would be here. I think I'm going to use this. I hope I have enough. Alright, so now using that 2.75, I'm going to get a slip knot on my hook. Make sure you have enough tail to weave in. And we're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's my little chain. Bring you guys in. Uh-oh, I don't know what that sound was. Okay, now we're going to single crochet into that second chain right there. Right in there. And single crochet into each of the remaining chains. Two more. Last chain right there. Just like that. And now what we're going to do is chain 1 and turn, single crochet into each single. And that's what we're going to repeat. Single into each single, chain 1, turn, single into each single, chain 1, turn. And you are going to repeat that. Try to get to the end here. Right there's that last single. Chain 1, turn, single in each single. Alright, you are going to repeat that until your piece measures 4 inches. Let me get my tape measure. Until that piece measures 4 inches. So 0 to 4. Alright? Just lay it on there and keep going back and forth until that 4 inches. Alright? So I'm going to get mine done and I will be right back. Alright. right, so I have worked my piece to 4 inches. It's maybe a touch over 4, but that's all right. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so now if you want to make your little pincushion, and then if you're just wanting to glue it to the strap, you can fold your piece in half, slip stitch down this side, fasten off, slip stitch down this side, fasten off, stuff it, and then slip stitch this shut and then glue it to your piece. But if you're wanting to make the little strap, we are going to, well, we're not even going to do that. We are actually going to chain 1 and pull up a loop and cut. Okay, sorry about that. I was fighting my scissor thing. All right, so chain 1 and cut, and what you want to do is fold your piece in half, just like this. Well, let's just go ahead and weave in these ends, just to get them out of the way, because we're not going to need them any. All right, just run this through the legs here. Same thing on this side. I'm just going to go through the legs. Alright. Now I'm going to get a slip knot on my hook. You can use a different color, you can use the same. Make sure you have enough tail to weave in. Still using the 2.75. And now we are going to fold our piece in half. I'm going to go this way. Okay, so now we want to find the center of our piece. So it should be roughly 2 inches. If it doesn't come out exactly right, it's no big deal. So 1 inch is exactly my half. Well, it's really not. It's a tad bit too short, so I'm just going to eyeball it. So I'm going to call right here my center. And what I want to do is come over just a touch. Right here. So right here's my center. I'm going to come to the right just a tad. And we are going to attach with a slip stitch. Chain 1, pull that tail tight, and I'm going to go right back in there with a single crochet. And now I'm going to single crochet into what would be my center, and then I'm going to single crochet into the next little space. So I have 3 singles right there, and we want to chain 1, turn, and we're going to single into each single, chain 1, turn, single into each of your singles. And what we're doing is repeating that until, let me get this back to the way it was. When we lay the pincushion on our strap, the chain 3 is going to come all the way around and then come to the beginning of our cushion, okay? So I'm just going to work the 3 single, chain 1, turn, 3 single, chain 1, turn until my piece, the little strap part, reaches around my wrist strap. So I'm going to get this done and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've worked that for a few rounds, so I'm going to take my wrist strap, I'm just going to set this on there, bring it around. I think I'm going to go one more row. Chain 1, single, single, and single. Okay, now I'm going to try it. Just set it on there, bring it around. I like that better. And what I'm looking for is enough room so I can take my scissors and just slide them underneath there. And our work is obviously going to have a little bit of give to it, and I think that's going to be a good length. So mine, I'll just let you guys know how long my little strap is. So there's a half, there's an 1 3/4. So it's just a tad, that next dash after the 1 3/4. Focus here. Focus here. There. See right here? There's the 3/4. There's the half. There's the 1 3/4 inch, and then that dash right after that. That's how long my little strap is. It does. Your guys' doesn't have to be exactly that length. I just wanted to show you guys that's how I was doing mine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is bring it around, and I'm just going to slip stitch it as straight as I can. It doesn't have to be exactly straight. Get this back on my hook. Chain 1 and turn. And I'm going to bring it somewhat straight across. And slip stitch through the strap, or through the cushion part, through the single crochet of the strap. Slip stitch through here, through the middle single, slip stitch through here, through that last single crochet, and slip stitch. Chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. Okay, so there is my little strap. Slides right on there. Looks good. Alright, so now I'm going to get these ends weaved in, and then when I come back we're going to slip stitch these two pieces closed, stuff, and we'll be done. Alrighty, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got those two ends weaved in. So now I'm going to bring my piece, the two ends together, make a nice straight seam, slip stitch up this side, slip stitch up this side. So get a slip knot on my hook again. Make sure you have enough tail to weave in. That nice straight fold, and I'm going to go right into the crease. Right straight through there. And slip stitch, and then just work that up the side. Now I do go straight through the little strap. Let me try to adjust to show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go one more, and then I go straight through this side, and then fold that strap to the side and go straight through that, through this side, through this side, and then right through the strap. I'm stuck on something. Dang it. Okay, start that over. Through this side, and then I went through that strap, pull. Oh, I did it again, dang it. something right there that I keep catching every time. I'm trying to get past it. Through this side. Through here. Through there. There, I got it. Through there. Slip stitch. Make sure my sides are still nice and even. And then I'm going to go one more time through that strap. Slip stitch. And now I'm past the strap. Now I'm coming to the corner right here, and I want to go as far into that corner as I can. So just like that, and then I'm going to chain one, pull up a loop, and cut. And the reason why I just don't go straight over, straight down, and then stop so far, and then stuff right here is because it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to try to get your stuffing up here when you're coming from here. So I just go ahead and just weave, you know, just make it a whole separate piece. So I'm going to go ahead and just rotate and come down this side. So I'm getting a slip knot on my hook with plenty of tail to weave in. I'm going to go straight into these corners and slip stitch. And the nice thing about these tails is we don't actually have to weave them in, we just hide them inside of the pincushion. Which I realize I said get a slip knot on your hook with plenty of tail to weave in, but that's kind of more of a habit to say. Alright, now I'm going to go through this strap, and that. Here, oop, right through there. One more, I think I can get past. Here, here, and then right in that edge. Chain one, pull up a loop, and cut. And there is our little pincushion. So now I'm going to get some of my polyfill. Just need a little bitty pinch. Don't need too much. That might be enough. Because we don't want to overstuff it. Get my hook in there and get it opened. I think that is good, because if we overstuff it, it wants to stand up really far on our strap. This is a good example. This one I overstuffed a little bit. So if we don't overstuff it, it'll lay nice and somewhat flat on the strap, but it'll still hold our needles. So I'm going to call that good. Alright, now I'm just going to get another slip knot on my hook, attach up here, right there, pull that tail, and then just slip stitch across the top. And that closes up our little pincushion. Go as far into this corner as I can. I'm going to go ahead and just go in here. Of course, I've got a hold of something that won't let me go there. Do that again. slip stitch, chain 1, cut, and there we go. So now all I'm going to do is take these ends, run it inside of the pincushion, come out, and cut. I'm going to do that with every one of these tails. So I'm going to pause so you guys don't have to watch me hide all these tails. And I will be right back. Alrighty, so I got all those ends weaved in. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a tug. Slide that onto here. And there we go. There is our little pincushion scissor holder wrist strap. Pull you guys out a little. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little tutorial. This is just a simple, fast scrap buster. And it actually comes in pretty handy. I really like these. Fuzzy butt. Alright guys, that's it from me. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Check out my description box. Like I said, I'll have the links to these little wrist straps I got from Amazon. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!